I'm so pumped to be your tour guide into the wide world of car culture. From hot rods to off-roading, car shows to autocross, there's just something so fun about cars as a hobby. Maybe it's the thrill of speed, the satisfaction of getting your hands dirty, or the street cred of rolling up in a sweet ride. Whatever it is, I'm here to show you the basics so you can start exploring this road scene. We'll break down everything you need to fit right in with the gearheads. This is just the beginning. Hit subscribe to come along for more wild rides. Now let's pop the hood and jump right in. We'll kick things off by talking about how we describe our sweet rides. Gearheads love coming up with creative lingo for their whips. Your car can be your whip, your ride, or just your wheels. Now, where did these terms come from? Well, whip started in the 1970s with hip-hop culture. Rappers used it to talk about their flashy cars, or maybe the cars they wish they had. Ride came from custom car culture. Your souped-up hot rod was your ride, and wheels? Pretty self-explanatory there. Next up, horsepower. Don't let this term intimidate you. Horsepower, or HP, just measures engine power. More horses equals more giddy-up. A healthy V8 sports car usually has around 400 horses. We also describe power more casually with words like fast, quick, or beastly. My buddy Jeff's new Mustang GT is a total beast. Over 450 horses ready to roar. Just try not to get too heavy on the gas or you'll quickly be seeing red and blue in your rear view if you catch my drift. Let's not forget about torque. Torque is that brute twist or rotation force that pins you to the seat at takeoff. More torque equals more neck snapping acceleration. I'm talking 0 to 60 in like 3 seconds flat. Got whiplash just test driving a Tesla once. That electric torque is no joke. Now that we've covered some terms for power, let's move on to how we describe the sounds these beastly engines and exhausts make. Vroom, vroom. Any car enthusiast knows that sweet sound of revving engines. We try to capture it with words like vroom and mimicking engine sounds. Nothing beats the throaty growl of a V8 or the high-pitched whine of a turbocharger spooling up. The exhaust system plays a big role in the symphony too. We talk about the pipes or exhaust note when describing the sound. Some opt for a mellow note while others want to roar loud and proud with a straight pipe exhaust. But you gotta be careful not to remove the muffler. That's illegal in most states. Even electric cars have their own futuristic whines and whirs these days. But despite the move to EV, the classic roar of an American V8 will never get old. It's part of what gives cars their soul, in my opinion. The sound is half the fun of performance cars. Alright, let's keep this lingo lesson rolling and jump into some more car slang. Driving stick is a rite of passage for any true gearhead. That's right, I'm talking about manual transmissions. The kind where you shift your own gears, not like boring old automatics. We call manual stick shifts because of the gear shifter stick between the seats. There's a learning curve, but it connects you to the car in a way no automatic can. Plus, it's just way more engaging and fun. Nothing beats perfectly rev-matched downshifts. Now, why are manual enthusiasts called gearheads, you ask? Well, because they literally became obsessed with gears. The term started in the 1950s and referred to mechanics who were masters of transmissions and gear ratios. These days, it applies to anyone deeply into cars, especially fans of wrenching under the hood themselves. Yep, that perfectly describes most of my buddies. Proud gearheads through and through. Moving right along, let's talk about where gearheads like to hang out and race. There are also organized events like drag races on straight strips and track days on closed circuits. Drag racing is all about straight line speed. Track days let you push handling limits safely on a course. Now onto some car subcultures. The term ricer refers to Asian import tuners, especially Hondas. It came from the popular mods of adding a rear wing and exhaust that made cars sound like rice grinders. Tuner is a more neutral term for fans of modifying imports. Tuners tweak and tune cars for optimal power and performance. The tuner scene is huge worldwide. No matter your car preference, all gearheads share a passion under the hood. Let's dive into some slang around custom cars and mods. Now we're getting into serious gearhead territory, customizing and modifying rides. Juicing refers to hydraulics that allow bouncing and hopping, originated with lowriders, but you'll also hear it in the donk scene. Slamming means lowering your ride as much as possible using air suspension or cutting coil springs. Get that super sleek, low-profile look. Donks are 70s American sedans and coupes lifted high on huge wheels. Lowriders are the complete opposite, drop low over smaller wheels. Both came out of creative DIY car cultures finding unique styles. Don't have a big budget? No problem. Gearheads get resourceful. That's the beauty of car passion, taking pride in your ride no matter what you drive. Ever heard of a bricked engine? No, it's not a block of bricks under your hood. It's that heart-stopping moment when your engine just decides to take a nap permanently. Picture this. You're cruising down the street, feeling like Vin Diesel, and then BAM! Your engine gives up the ghost. Say goodbye to that sweet ride because it's now just an oversized paperweight. Sorry, pal, that engine is officially bricked, about as useful as a chocolate teapot. And let's not forget that moment when you're at the track, feeling like you've got the speed of a superhero only to get absolutely gapped in a race. Ouch! That's the kind of defeat that stings worse than getting a paper cut between your fingers. You thought you were the Flash, but it turns out you were channeling more of a sloth's energy. Now, why do our cars sometimes act like mischievous creatures from a Gremlins movie? This brings us to the term gremlins in the automotive world, those pesky, mysterious problems that come out of nowhere and wreak havoc on our four-wheeled pals. Your engine's coughing like it's got a cold, your lights are flashing like a disco party, and your car's acting possessed. Who you gonna call? Not the Ghostbusters, my friend. You're going to blame those mysterious gremlins for messing with your wheels. Now that we've survived the roller coaster of car catastrophes, let's cruise into the colorful world of trends and subcultures within the car enthusiast realm. Have you met someone talking about stancing a car and wondered if they were referring to some sort of Zen meditation for vehicles? Well, it's not about finding inner peace on the asphalt, that's for sure. Stance is all about that killer look. It's about slamming your car's suspension to get that aggressive, low-down, ground-hugging style. We're talking about making your ride so low it's almost scraping paint off the road. It's like your car's saying, I don't just ride, I glide. It's an art form, really, finding that perfect balance between form and function. Now let's dive into the world of Basozoku. No, it's not the name of the latest sushi joint in town. Basozoku is a Japanese subculture that's all about rebellious, over-the-top car modifications. We're talking flashy colors, extended fenders, outrageous exhaust pipes, basically everything that screams, look at me. These cars look like they just drove straight out of a neon-soaked 80s anime. It's like the automotive version of a loud, flamboyant peacock strutting its stuff. It's time to switch gears into the adrenaline-pumping world of performance and driving styles. Have you ever been accused of being a hoon? No, it's not a critique on your fashion sense. Hoon is all about being a bit of a speed demon, someone who loves to push the limits of their car. It's like that feeling when you put the pedal to the metal and let loose your inner race car driver. Just don't let the hoon police catch you. Now, drifting, it's like ballet for cars, folks. It's that controlled chaos where drivers intentionally oversteer, causing the rear wheels to lose traction while keeping the car in control through a smooth, graceful slide. Think Tokyo Drift minus the Vin Diesel cameo. It's an art form and an absolute crowd pleaser. Now let's talk about rolling coal. No, it's not about grilling up burgers in a truck bed. It's when diesel enthusiasts modify their engines to emit billows of black smoke. It's a controversial practice, to say the least, but to some it's a statement of power and performance. Though environmentalists might not be the biggest fans of this smoky show. And don't forget the finesse of rev matching, heel-toe shifting, and power sliding. These are the secret handshakes of manual transmission drivers, techniques that dance between precision, coordination, and finesse, making gear shifts and cornering an artful symphony. Remember to subscribe to our channel if you found this content valuable. We'll see you in the next one.